was it your idea to just like write the verses?
It was, and I came to him and I was like, I feel like this is crazy, but just like hang on till the end of the idea. Originally, we were gonna write like our vows to each other as the verses, like
Yes.
let them be very promising, like I promise this and I promise
Yeah.
this.
Thank God that this song worked. How does this song "It For Me" come together? Because this was like all over my TikTok.
Oh,
Basically,
So
you
sorry.
you guys wrote your first dance song because I don't know because you couldn't find a great song to do your
yeah.
first dance to.
Yeah.
So what? So how do you come up with this idea? Because it's a great idea.
So
Thank
yes,
you for saying
thank you
that.
for saying it. Yeah, to start, we basically like had the music that we were making before this like last year was a little bit different. Like we like I don't know, it was more like poppy, more like more music you can dance to and stuff. And then like as we got engaged and stuff, we just really started to lean into like our love story because we were like, this is like honest to us. We should lean in more.
And we were in wedding planning mode, which is very
Yeah.
romantic and that world.
So we just started writing a bunch of songs that were like that and started putting them out, like the ones that we really loved. And so we had been thinking about writing our first dance song, and a couple of songs we teased, being like, "Oh, this could be our first dance song," just to like see like what people's reaction and stuff was. But then when it came time to actually like do it for the wedding, like pick the song, we kind of felt like it'd be too like egocentric almost to like
Like,
Yeah.
use one of
what
our
songs
songs.
were you thinking about?
Some of the other ones that we have written, and then also I don't know, you can
I was really stressing about it because obviously I want that to be a really important part of our wedding day.
yeah.
Like we're musicians. I like music is everything to us. I made a little playlist. I'm trying to think. The top one, the most recent one before we wrote one was Wild Love by James
Yeah,
Bay,
yeah,
the acoustic version.
yeah,
I like listened to it in my car one day and was like got teary-eyed and I was
yeah,
like, if a song moves me, I get chills or I cry. And I feel like
yeah.
it's a special one. So I was like, oh, okay.
And before that, we had thought about the Cautious Clay song, right?
Yes.
Freaking
Wildfire.
Wildfire.
Anyway,
We love fire.
random,
Yeah.
yes, love beautiful songs, but they weren't like it was like great, but it wasn't
It
perfect.
wasn't connected to us. That was
Yes.
what was so hard is because like music is so much a part of our life and our relationship and everything we do. It's like the song needed to connect to us, but then like we couldn't do the first song. The first song we ever duetted was Thinking Out Loud
Oh
by
my God.
Ed Sheeran. We did like a mashup of that and Let's Get It On, which everyone did at the time.
Yeah.
And like that would have just felt too cliche because everyone uses that song. So I don't know. We just like were really having a hard time. And I don't remember, was it your idea to just do the like write the verses?
It was, and I came to him and I was like, I feel like this is crazy, but just like hang on till the end of the idea. What if we have this hook and then we basically originally we were going to write like our vows to each other as the verses, like
Yes.
let them be very promising, like I promise this and I promise
Yeah.
this
Because we weren't going to say our vows at our wedding, but then
publicly.
then we got some pushback from family and we were like, okay, I guess.
My mom was outraged. It was like,
Yeah,
how
why would you not say your vows at the wedding?
we just were like, we want something to be private.
Yeah.
That was it. Honestly, it's dumb. Like looking back at the day, I'm so glad
I'm glad we did
we
it. I'm
shared
really
that.
glad we did it. But yeah, but at
Yes.
first we were like, we just want something that's just for us. And so this was like a good like in between, honestly. It
Yes.
was like at that time we weren't gonna do vows publicly. And we were like, but this is like something that's personal to us, but also it's like a way for us to profess our love
Yes.
in front of each other, or like to each other. And then we kind of shifted, but then we had the idea for the song and then didn't actually do it. And then we were in a session and the chorus like melody and like kind of idea Danny had. And so she brought it into our session with our two friends. And in the middle of writing it, I was texting her and I was like, wait,
He was
we can't start the verse. Like, we can't start the verse. And I was like, this would be a good song for this because it just like, I don't know, like just the hook of it all. It's like the simplicity of like, I think you're it for me.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I feel like this is something that we could like, like really say.
Mhm.
So yeah, so then we just like we told them I was like Danny's like Colton's texting me, wait guys, and so I was like okay before we write verses we had this idea we explained to them exactly what you explained to you, and they were like oh my gosh like
Yeah, thank
so
God they loved it because we could have
yeah
had co-writers that were like, no, like
yeah,
that's I don't know. You just never know. You want to be respectful of people's time.
and then yeah so we had the chorus and we had a little bit of the pre done,
Mhm.
which we ended up using the same pre.
So we kicked Colton out. I wrote mine.
Yeah.
We switched. I went home. It was honestly like it was very quick.
Yeah.
Because a way that I write a lot, and Colton does too, but I'm like kind of weird about this. I will just like do gibberish, which a lot of writers do. And I basically had a verse pre-chorus melody, and the chorus I had it for me. I loved that being the hook. And it was so cool because our co-writers basically came in and helped us fill in exactly my melodies. Like we basically just put words to the melodies that I
Mhm.
had
And then tweak the chorus.
and then tweak the chorus. But they liked the flow of what it sounded like, which
Mhm.
the voice memo from or to like the final version is the closest we've ever had. It's like so cool to
I
listen.
know. I listened to it the other day because I was like, I want to hear like what her original, like what your original melodies and
so
stuff was. And
similar.
I was like, holy shit. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then for me, I just went home and like, wow, because they started. So I went home and wrote my verses, and then came in and I was like, yeah, what do you guys think? And they like, I had two different versions, and the co-writers were like, oh, you gotta like go with this version, which is really cool because my version started with something in me took a deep breath, and I didn't know because obviously because I hadn't heard hers, but hers was uh talked about like
Had to catch my
had
breath.
to catch my breath, and it was I don't know, it was like a
Weird parallels, yeah.
cool parallel that we were like on the same like wavelength about, which is really cool.
Sorry, we just talked for 30,000 seconds. I don't
No,
even
thank
remember.
God that this song worked because it could have been horrible.
Oh yeah, it definitely could have been a shit show for
Awful.
sure. And we like hadn't heard it, which was like nerve-wracking. So like our producer and our manager were like they were doing the mix notes and doing all the stuff, and
Dude, we were stressed.
we don't normally like we've never ever like given control to anyone else like that.
No, I think that's partly why my legs stopped working. Like in one of the videos, I think I said, like, I was so nervous because I'm like, first of all, what if we do this egocentric thing and then it has the nerve to not be good? I would die. Like, that would be the worst. I mean, no, I couldn't. And thank God it went over well. Like,
Yeah.
people at the
And I'm glad,
wedding.
even if it had turned out bad per se, and like even if we never put the video on, like, I'm
Oh my
so
God.
glad about like it just felt very emotional and like it was I don't know, it was
No, it's
cool.
special to us.
It was
Yeah.
very special, and like I'm glad that we got to share that with all those people, like our closest friends and family with us. Like,
Yes.
it was cool. Yeah.
No, I think it's great. What was the deal with this gas station? Did you really drive to a gas station?
There's a
I'm
gas
assuming, right? What was the deal with the gas station?
It was after leaving his house, so literally the exact lyric. And it sounds so cheesy speaking it, not singing it, but I remember driving and I almost had called my sister because I was like, something feels so different. And it almost felt like a panic attack a little bit, but in a good romantic way. Like I was like, wait, I can't get on top of this feeling. It's kind of like overwhelming me. So I pulled over and I had to get gas. So it was good timing. But I like remember standing outside of my car being like, holy shit, like, something's changed. This is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that tiger on the corner of Wedgwood and 8th.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if it's still there, I hope
Oh yeah, it might be gone. I don't know. But it's funny because we were talking about that afterwards. Like exactly. You said first date, first dinner at your place, and that wasn't actually our first date.
No, it was supposed to be first date, comma, first dinner. Like it was a
Yeah, because
collection.
someone commented and they were like, first date is a dinner at his place? Hell no, or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be creepy. But it was the first time I cooked her dinner.
Yes.
And we were cracking up about it because I was like, that's what you remember? It was awful.
Terrible.
First
Oh
of
my
all, I
God.
like can't cook now, but I'm much better than I was then. But like then I made her some soggy ass pasta, some damn frozen meatballs, and like spaghetti sauce, and then frozen broccoli.
It was really
And I heated it all up, and it was just like a bowl of mush. And I don't know why, like I was so bold.
And that's what did
Like
it.
literally so bold. Like, okay, like, oh, it served you up. And I like thought I like did it. I think it maybe had a candle lit or something.
It was the frozen meatballs and the soggy pasta, overcooked pasta.
The marriage material, it was the soggy pasta for sure.
No, I get it. That makes a lot of sense.